What's up, YouTube? It's Coach Cory, and today we got a very special guest. We got the #1 player last season and also a legend in his own right just on YouTube with over 500,000 subscribers. We got Ash. What's up, man?
Hey, Cory. I don't know if I'd call myself a legend, but thank you. Thank you for having me here. And hey, guys, what's up?
Yeah, I think you deserve it, man. And #1 last season, definitely very impressive. You had over 15,000 trophies. How did that feel getting #1?
It felt great. I felt like it was a big accomplishment of mine as a Brawl Stars player. I've been playing for like about a year.
Yeah.
And it was like the first time that I seriously pushed. That was my 3rd season straight that I was just grinding trophies, and finally got to #1. So it felt really great.
Okay, so that was one of my questions actually, was how long does it take to get to #1? Is it that multi-season effort, or is it you can just decide, all right, I'm gonna go for #1 this season?
Well, my first goal was to get to like 11K trophies, which I did like on my first season. It wasn't that, it didn't take me that long. Then the next season, my goal was like 12K, and I got to that. Then then the goal after that was 13K. So I just went like little by little every season, because obviously you lose like half your trophies above 500 cups, so that's like a big fall. So yeah, I just went, I just took my time, went little by little, and to be honest, it really did not take that long, not as long as I expected.
Well, congrats and well done.
Thanks.
How long would you say you had to like play a day to really do that?
So the season that I got #1, I started at around 12,300 trophies. Yeah, I started from 12,300 trophies, but the previous season I had 14,100. So I had to gain around like 3,000. Yeah, around like 3,000 trophies in the whole entire season, which was like 14 days. Yeah. So I had to average around like 250 cups a day, which wasn't that intense actually. First day I made a bunch of trophies, like 500 cups. Some days I did not like push at all. Like I only played for like 1 hour, which is really nothing. You have to invest around 4 to 8 hours a day. And in my opinion, that also isn't like that much for getting #1 in a game like Brawl Stars. Because I've also played Clash of Clans competitively, and Clash of Clans and Clash Royale. And those games, they take so much more. Like they require a lot more time, a lot more dedication to get to #1. But but in my opinion, that's just because Brawl Stars has not been global yet. So the competition is not there yet, in my opinion.
Yeah, not as many 500 brawler players.
Right. Yeah.
Or max, whatever.
Yeah. So it wasn't as hard as like pushing, like you would want to go for #1 in say Clash Royale or Clash of Clans. Those are much harder now because of the player base is just so much, and the competition is just vastly greater.
Well, that's fair. That's true. Much more players always makes it harder. Well, now that you reached #1 last season, do you have any ladder goals going forward, or you're just gonna take it easy?
Right now I'm just taking it easy. My plan right now is just to maintain top 10. Been casually playing. Well, by casual I mean by
casual top 10.
By playing like at least 2 hours a day, but definitely not as hardcore that I've been like last season. The average day was like 6 hours long. But yeah.
Yeah, it can be a long day. Are you playing on you have a mini account as well, which maybe isn't much of a mini. Do you have all the brawlers?
I actually have 500 accounts, and the reason for that is so that I can play with my bandmates, because I run the band of my own, right? And I'm the highest trophy player in that band. So whenever I'm playing like really high trophy brawlers, it just makes the matchmaking much tougher for my bandmates who have much lower trophy brawlers. So because of that, I just decided, I'll just make another mini account so I can play with my bandmates.
Good guy, Ash. That's OP.
Yeah. Awesome. But that's pretty much it. And also, I felt like one of the main reasons that I was able to make that climb to first place and have that experience was because of me like not getting carried by top players all the time, but me being the top player in my band allowed me to play against all the pros all the time and just learn from my mistakes and just
That's
get
true.
better
You got
from
tough
all the
games.
losses. Yeah.
Right. Well, what would you say when you were pushing to number 1? What was your favorite game mode to gain trophies in, push cups?
Well, I'd say equally it's been like, actually I had to play all the modes, every mode to get all my trophies, because you need that knowledge. You need that knowledge of playing every brawler and every mode, because you know some modes say like heist, that's where you want to push your Daryl, your Bull, Crow, maybe throwers as well. Those are like the best modes for pushing your top brawlers. I mean, pushing your tanks and, you know, certain brawlers. Then you have like smash and grab. It's all dependent on like the maps as well, not only the modes. I'm also a big bounty player, so whenever it's the bounty day, I'm always going all in on my bounty brawlers like Piper and Brock. I get them to like, you know, as high as possible. I got them to like 800 last season. So yeah, it's all dependent on the brawler and the mode and the map.
Right. Okay, well, I gotta ask number 1 player. What would you say are the top 5 brawlers right now?
Top 5 brawlers right now.
Just
well,
overall.
definitely Poco's number 1. He's so overpowered, it's ridiculous. And I actually hate him for that, because it just makes all the other mids in like smash and grab much harder to use. Like if I wanted to use like a Pam, it's just so much harder now to do so. And every game I play, I'm like, yo, I need a mid who's a Poco, because it just makes things much easier, as opposed to someone running like, say, a Pam or Penny. It's just not as easy to win a game. It just requires more effort. But Poco's definitely number 1. As for number 2, it's really hard to say. I feel like all the other brawlers are pretty well balanced. They did a great job balancing Rico. Crow's been very balanced as well. He's not OP in like anything. Spike is really good. Nita is really good. Those are probably top 5 as well. What else? Am I forgetting anything? Throwers are kind of, they're pretty balanced right now in my opinion. They did pretty well nerfing Dynamite and balancing him. Yeah, it's really hard to say.
Of them, except for the bounty ones, I guess.
It's all depending on, like, in my opinion, it's all depending on the mode you're playing.
Yeah. What would you say is your top trophy pushing tip? If you had to give one, I know that's
top
tough.
Trophy pushing tip. It's got to be this one. If you lose a game, don't kill yourself over it, and don't kill your teammates over it. Just take it easy and just learn from your mistakes. Try to go back. I know there isn't like replays or anything right now, but try to find out what went wrong and try to improve on that. Try to help your teammates understand, what the error was, and just try to help them, get better at it. And I felt like that's one of the things that allowed me to win a lot more games, was because whenever I lost a game, I didn't take it like it's the end of the world. Mm-hmm. I took it as an opportunity to learn from my mistake, to see where I, as a team, where we can improve on. Yeah. And I gave them, helpful tips. They gave me helpful tips, and we grew as a team, and we pushed together.
That's really good advice. Yeah.
I feel like that's one of the most important things, because I know that some players, like when they lose, they just, they'll just kill themselves or kill their teammates. You're like, oh my God, I can't believe we lost that. Why did you do that? But in my opinion, you gotta have a cool head. You gotta be cool-headed. You can't kill yourself over it. No,
that's a really good tip. I agree. I think you gotta learn from your losses. I feel like that's one of the best ways to get better.
Yeah, you really don't want to tilt yourself. So you have to have. I felt like the push to number one was more of a mental challenge than really like a skillful or that kind of challenge. It was a challenge of how patient you were. Could you go through the losses and still have that mentality to keep going and keep striving, basically.
Yeah, no, that's an interesting perspective, because it is a lot of time you have to spend. Mm-hmm. They're quick games too, so you're talking about how many games you're playing. That's a lot of games.
Yeah.
So you're gonna lose some. You gotta have good patience, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, I gotta ask a question. We're talking about balance a little bit. How do you feel about Mortis right now?
Mortis? Oh man, I feel like Mortis is really good right now, but I just can't use him. You know why?
Why?
Cause there's that delay. It's killing me. Like the delay is killing me. I just can't. I just can't dash with him. I just can't use him properly because of that delay glitch right now. But in my opinion, with that delay gone, he's gonna be a beast.
I think his stats are really good right now.
Yeah, his stats are really good. Mortis is so good right now.
Yeah.
But it's just me. I'm just struggling with them just because of that delay. It's just so hard to use him with that delay. And I felt like one of the reasons Poco was actually buffed was because Supercell underestimated the delay, because there was still that super delay and stuff, and that was holding Poco back. In a lot of games, Poco was really good, but because of that delay, a lot of people had that super delay. They couldn't use him properly, even though everyone knew that he was good. It was just so hard to use with the glitches and bugs. But felt like he really did not need that previous buff at all. Especially that range.
You got a couple good buffs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love it. All right. I got some questions about just some future overarching questions. All right, so you were in the Clash Royale a lot. So let's compare Brawl Stars to Clash Royale a little bit. How do you feel about the future of Brawl Stars, and do you think it's going to be more popular than Clash Royale?
I feel like it has the potential to do so, just because beta process has been a lot longer than the Clash Royale beta process, and I feel like Supercell are doing a very good job being patient about it, and just focusing on all the problems and not rushing global release. I know everyone wants the global release. I know you and I, we'd love to have global like immediately. Right. I feel like they're doing a very good job, being patient. And even though that whole landscape update, like everyone's been like so critical about it, I felt like they did a good job, actually making it happen. And I feel like landscape is really the future of Brawl Stars, and it was never portrait, because you could just see so much of the screen. You can do so much more with landscape. And I felt like Supercell did a great job with that.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's gonna be such a great game when global comes up.
I agree. I think the landscape was such a big risk, but I mean
it was, yeah.
They struggled at first, as we all know, but they slowly made changes. And actually, I'm going to bring this back a little bit too, because while we touched on this, during that time they added auto aim into the game, and for a long time there was a lot of people
hating auto aim.
But I don't feel like anyone's talking about it these days, but I mean it really hasn't changed. I mean,
I felt like Supercell actually did a very good job with auto aim. It's not as like dominating as it was before. Right now you could, like before, you could just spam it, just spam the auto aim button. You can games, but right now, like a lot of games, you can't really do that anymore. For example, like if you're behind a wall, or if you're if you're hiding in the grass, auto aim is not going to target
prediction.
You need to predict and need to do a lot. And there's also a lot of situation. It's all situational in my opinion whenever you're using auto aim. Like if the target is close to you, if the target is far, you have to know when. Like for example, like just earlier I was using Tara in Smash and Grab, and Tara's really great character to use auto aim often with, but it also requires you to understand like when that brawler is locked on, that you could actually spam that auto aim button, and when you have the distance to do so. So it's not just it's not just randomly spamming that button, because you're just gonna be wasting ammo, and ammo is like super precious, especially at high level. You need to use every bit of that ammo to its highest, to its fullest potential.
Yeah. Okay. All right. One last question for you. Most important one. What do you think, if anything, Brawl Stars needs to go global?
It's a really good question. What does it need to go global? I feel like it's ready for global, but it's just missing it's just there's just so many bugs and stuff, like the delay and stuff. Not only that, I feel like it's really close. I feel like it just needs like one more key thing in the game. But I don't know. I really don't know what it's missing. Maybe like ban wars, but in my opinion, for that, I think they should just save that for like after global. And not worry about that right now. That's usually like one of their like ace in ace in their sleeves, like
get some hype
when
afterwards.
when they had Clash Royale to one or Clash of Clans. Whenever they introduced Clan Wars, it was after after at least a year.
It's a year or two, yeah.
Yeah, after release, because what it does it revitalizes the whole game, and I feel like they need something like that to revitalize Brawl Stars if it goes through that downhill slope in popularity.
That's an interesting point. I hadn't thought of saving a key feature to revitalize the game, but that's that could definitely be needed in certain games. Yeah. All right, well, definitely, guys, go check out Ash's channel. I'll put a link in the description below, in the comments below. Ash, you got any shout-outs, man?
Any shout-outs? No, but thank you, Cory. And also, yeah, shout-out to all the players in Nova Esports and, like, all the other bands that have, especially my band, Nova Ash, for helping me reach that #1 goal. There's, like, so many names. Like, I feel like I played, like, over 100 players when maybe I pushed to #1.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can't really list everyone's name, but huge thanks to everyone who has helped me, and to Coach Cory for having me in this video and interviewing me. Big honor. Thank you.
Of course, man. Thanks so much for coming on the channel. It was a pleasure having you. Really excited to have you on my channel. Been looking forward to this. And all right, guys, that's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you later.